Hello, sewing lovers, and welcome to CocoCosturas. I'm Coco, and today I'm excited because it's not only my second video, it's also my 59th birthday. Yes, I'm celebrating nearly 6 decades in this wonderful world. I'm thrilled to share this joy with you all. You know, birthdays are a time of reflection, a time to look back at the journey we've embarked on, the experiences we've gathered, the stories we've woven together. Speaking of stories, last night as I celebrated with my family, I was reminded of a sewing project from years ago. A tale of a low-quality thread that turned my sewing machine into a tiny, fuzzy monster. But that's a story for another time. Today, we have much to discuss, much to celebrate. But before we dive into sewing, let me share something special about last night's dinner with my family and my grandson's birthday celebration. Last night, as we were enjoying a delicious dinner, I remembered a sewing project I did years ago. You know that feeling when a memory just hits you out of nowhere? That's what happened. I was sitting there amidst the clatter of silverware and chatter when a sewing mishap from the past came to mind. It was during my early days of sewing, and I was eager to complete my project. I chose a thread, not paying much attention to its quality. Little did I know, this decision would transform my sewing machine into a little furball monster. I spent more time cleaning the machine than actually sewing. It was a nightmare, a fluffy, fuzzy nightmare. This experience taught me an invaluable lesson. Never compromise on the quality of your thread. It's not just about preventing your machine from turning into a fluff beast, but it's also about the longevity and appearance of your finished product. So I made a vow to always pick the best threads for my projects. And let me tell you, it has made a world of difference. But last night wasn't only about reminiscing sewing mishaps. We were also celebrating my grandson's birthday. His eyes sparkled as he blew out the candles on his cake, and his laughter filled the room. It was one of those heartwarming moments that you just want to freeze in time. We shared stories, played games, and let's not forget the food. Oh, the food was divine. Everything was homemade, from the hearty lasagna to the decadent chocolate cake. It was a feast fit for a king, or in this case, a very happy birthday boy. As I looked around the table, I felt an overwhelming sense of love and gratitude. My family, my home, my craft, everything was right there in that moment. It was a reminder of why I started sewing in the first place, to create, to share, to connect. It was a night full of laughter, love, and delicious homemade food. It was a night I will cherish forever, just like the lessons I learned from my fluffy sewing mishap. I can't wait to share more stories and tips with you. But for now, let's get back to our sewing adventure. Now let's get back to the tools. How about we delve a bit deeper into thread choice? As any seasoned tailor would tell you, the thread you select is just as important as the fabric you're working with. The right thread can make your sewing project a breeze, while the wrong one can turn it into an uphill battle. Imagine you're crafting a beautiful silk dress. You've got your pattern, you've got your fabric, and you're raring to go. But then, you reach for a spool of heavy-duty cotton thread. It's strong, it's durable, it's completely wrong for your delicate silk fabric. What you need is a fine silk thread that will glide through the fabric without damaging it. Remember, it's not just about matching the color of your thread to your fabric. It's about matching the type and weight of your thread to your fabric. Cotton thread for cotton fabric, silk thread for silk fabric, and so forth. It's like pairing a good wine with the right cheese. The right combination enhances the overall experience. Now let's talk about thread quality. You might be tempted to reach for that bargain bin thread, but resist the urge. Quality thread might be a little more expensive, but it's worth every penny. It's less likely to break, fray, or create lint in your sewing machine, which can save you a lot of time and frustration in the long run. Here's a tip. When you're shopping for thread, give it the snap test. Simply unspool a length of thread, hold it taut between your hands, and give it a firm tug. If it breaks easily, it's probably not the best choice for your sewing project. Another tip, look at the thread under a light. A quality thread will have a consistent color and texture throughout its length. If you see any irregularities or color variations, it might be a sign of a lower quality thread. In conclusion, choosing the right thread for your sewing project is a crucial step that should not be overlooked. It can make the difference between a project that's a joy to work on and one that's a real chore. I'll show you some practical examples and share useful tips for selecting the perfect thread for each project. Scene script. Let's move on to scissors and the Worktable. Now let's talk about the unsung heroes of any sewing project, the scissors and the Worktable. I remember my first experience with a pair of cheap scissors. I thought I was saving money, but let me tell you, it was a decision that cost me more in the long run. Those scissors were dull, they frayed the fabric and made uneven cuts. That's when I learned the importance of investing in quality scissors. They offer precision, they're durable, and they can make the difference between a project that's a joy and one that's a nightmare. Just as important as the scissors is the work table. Have you ever tried to sew on a wobbly table? It's like trying to paint a masterpiece during an earthquake. A stable work table is essential for a hassle-free sewing project. It gives you a solid platform to lay out, measure, and cut your fabric. It's the foundation for your creativity, the stage for your art. Now let's get practical. How do you keep your sewing space organized and efficient? Start by having a designated place for everything. Keep your most used items within arm's reach. Store your threads by color, your needles by size. This not only saves time, but also makes your workspace visually pleasing. Next, invest in a good cutting mat. It protects your table and your scissors, and most have measurement grids to help you cut accurately. And let's not forget about lighting. Good lighting is essential. It reduces eye strain and makes it easier to see those tiny stitches. Lastly, remember to keep your workspace clean. Regularly dust off your sewing machine, wipe down your table, and sweep up those loose threads. A clean workspace is a happy workspace. In the end, your workspace is your sanctuary, your creative haven. Make it a place that inspires you, a place where you can let your imagination run wild. I'll show you how a stable table is essential for a hassle-free sewing project. You'll get some tips to keep your sewing space organized and efficient. Before moving on to the next point, I want to thank my son, who's behind the cameras, helping me with all of this. You know, it's not just about the buttons he clicks or the lights he adjusts. It's about the shared moments, the laughter, the trials and errors, the hardships and triumphs that we navigate together. It's about the bond that we formed in the pursuit of this dream. To my son, I say thank you. Thank you for your patience, your guidance, and your unwavering support. This journey wouldn't be the same without you. And while we're on the subject of journeys, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on my own. You see, sewing has been more than just a hobby for me. It has been my solace during the stormy days, my creative outlet when the world seemed monochrome, and my tether to the beautiful memories of the past. I remember the first dress I ever made. It was for my daughter's first birthday, a little pink frock with white lace. The stitches weren't perfect, the seams a bit uneven, but the joy in her eyes, the pride in my heart, it was priceless. That dress, that moment, it sparked a passion in me, a love for sewing that has only grown over the years. Sewing has taught me patience, it has taught me precision, but above all, it has taught me gratitude. Gratitude for the ability to create, gratitude for the precious moments spent in the company of loved ones, gratitude for the lessons learned and the growth experienced. And so, as I stand here today surrounded by threads and needles, patterns and fabric, I am filled with a profound sense of gratitude. Gratitude for this journey, for this platform, for the opportunity to share my passion with all of you. Now I'll share an emotional moment from my sewing journey that has left a mark on me. Let's do something exciting, a live sewing project. It's time for the hands-on part of our journey today. As we venture into this, remember, each stitch we sew is a chance to express our unique creativity. With the quality thread we've chosen and the reliable scissors we've discussed, we're all set to embark on this adventure. Remember, the tools we use are not just tools, they're extensions of our creative spirit, enabling us to bring our imagination to life. As the needle weaves in and out of the fabric, let's appreciate the rhythm, the dance of creation that unfolds. Each stitch is a testament to our patience, our dedication, and our love for this craft. Sewing has been a fundamental part of my life, a constant companion through life's tapestry of experiences. It's my hope that it becomes a beacon for your creativity too, a platform for you to express, to create, and to inspire. While I work on this, I'll talk about how sewing has been a fundamental part of my life and how I hope it inspires all of you to explore your creativity. And so we come to the end of our special video. It's been an absolute pleasure to share this day with you all. Your presence in this journey of CocoCosturas, my sewing adventures, and my 59th birthday celebration means more than words can express. As we continue to stitch together these shared moments, I'd love to hear more about your own sewing stories. What trials and triumphs have you encountered in your creative endeavors? What would you like to see in our upcoming videos? Your experiences, your ideas, they're the threads that help weave this community together, making it stronger and more vibrant. So let's keep the conversation going. Share with us in the comments below. Let's celebrate not just the art of sewing, but the stories we create along the way. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell. See you in the next creative project.